Nick, yesterday, Lane looked like he was moving really well. What do you feel about his chances for Sunday, and what would his return mean for your offense?
Yeah, we'll get you that information later here today. As far as where he's going to be, we'll see how today goes. We still got another day to go. Like I said, wouldn't count Lane Johnson out. And as far as Lane, being in the lineup, he's one of the best players in the NFL. And so when he's in the lineup, no doubt are we a better football team because of who he is as a football player, who he is as a captain, who he is as a person. If he's able to go, that will be a big boost for our offense.
How careful do you have to be with somebody like Julio who hasn't been here when you think about potentially elevating him or even Josiah for, he's been in Pittsburgh, had the hamstring. How do you weigh that kind
I think
of stuff?
Josiah's situation's a little bit different than Julio's, because Josiah's been on a team. Josiah seems to be healthy right now, and which is a big positive for us. As Julio, you're going to be tempted to want to put him in, because he's a phenomenal player. It's done a lot in this league, but we're going to have to make sure that we're not putting him in danger. Doing what we need to do to help us win the game, and doing what he needs to do to help us win the game, but also being smart with his rep count because just because of the elevated risk of injury if you put him in for too much. He's looked good. Yeah, he's looked good. So exciting when he's out there. And so yeah, we're excited to have him.
As far as the schedule this week, what was the reason for the walkthrough on Wednesday?
Every week you're looking at different things. And there's so many different different factors that play into it. We had just played 2 turf games in a row. That was what went into the decision this week, as the guys' legs from 2 turf games. We also understand that we get really good work and extra plays in our walkthrough than you would normally get, because you got more time in a walk. You can run more plays. You can do more. So, and our guys really, when we went to some walkthroughs last year, more towards the end of the season. We did it some in the beginning of the season. We felt like we really handled that well and played some of our best football at that time. The guys were so locked in mentally and fresh on Sunday. So, and that was an opportunity for you guys not to have to come to practice on Wednesday.
How did Jalen Carter handle his setback? And as a rookie, did you feel the need to kind of maybe just like check out, see how he's doing?
Yeah. Anybody that's going through an injury, I'm always going to check in on and see how they're doing. I think he's done a nice job of being in there and getting the extra work done with the trainers to make sure that he's ready to go. Again, we'll see where he is at the end of the day today. But I felt like I felt like he handled it well, and so that's being able to play through pain, which he can. He's extremely tough, and then doing the things you're supposed to do to make sure your body's ready to go. And I felt like he did that, and he's been in positive spirits. He wanted to play. He's a competitor. He's wanted to play. He wanted to play last week, but we got to do what's best for his body. Because all our guys are going to want to play. Sometimes when they can't.
Nick, this
Do
is
one more.
the number 1 motion team in the NFL versus the number 32 motion.
Oh, it's going to be a good matchup.
But it's 1 and 2, but they're 1 and 2 offenses, right?
Yeah.
Yards.
Yeah.
So can you give us like the 101 version of, what is different about these respective offenses that, puts them on those sort of divergent courses?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think they do a phenomenal job with motion and different things of what they do with hiding things, getting guys free. That's what that Mike's done, and that's the system he's been in. And again, I think what I really have a lot of respect for Mike is that he's running a lot of different things than systems that he's been in the past, right? Because he's adapted to who his players are. And so, he uses different things with motions for different reasons. I'm guessing as I watch, but I'm taking educated guesses as I watch. And we do less of that, right? And so, But it's like anything, like, you know, I have a philosophy of the way I think things are supposed to look, right? But it always starts with the players, right? But what I mean by that is there's a lot of different ways to do things, right? Are you convicted in what you do, right? Do you coach the heck out of it to help the players succeed? And so, you know, I say this in our staff meetings all the time. Like, I get that there's a lot of ways to do it. This is how we're going to do it. And let's be all in on this. And Mike does it a certain way with his offense, and they're all in on that. And so I think that's just a good example for everybody, is that, you know, this can go from game management to the way you run practice to the way you travel or anything. There's multiple ways to do things. You know, it's about doing them with attention to detail. It's about doing them the right way. It's about being all in on the way you're doing it, and many different things can succeed, especially when you got good players like they have, and we got good players like we have.